Dragon Ball Legends 7th Anniversary Part 1 is in full swing, and I gotta be honest, I was kinda expecting a little more.
What?
This is supposed to be the biggest and best celebration ever for Dragon Ball Legends, but I'm tired of acting like we're at that point, at least for right now. Now, we're still in Part 1, so I reserve the right to change my mind and potentially eat my words in a few weeks, but right now, I'm, I guess, more disappointed than happy. Let's start with the good though. I think that the units so far, Universe Reps, Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, Master Ultra Instinct Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta are great choices for Anniversary. Don't get me wrong, transforming Master Ultra Instinct and transforming Blue Evo Vegeta are hype. I will never deny that, and Uni Reps was easily a tag that we not only knew badly needed some help, but we pretty much predicted that they would be the focus of Part 1. My issue with the units though is more so what they are and not exactly who they are, if that makes sense. The amount of free Chrono Crystals that we have the ability to get during this anniversary though is also a massive plus. If I'm not mistaken, this is like the most generous anniversary yet. I'm not sure the exact amount, somebody will have to do the calculations, but I think we'll have access to around like 30,000 free Chrono Crystals over the course of the anniversary. I'm pretty sure that's the number I saw floating around on Twitter and YouTube and stuff at least. And depending on if there's any random maintenance or other gifts or anything like that, there could still be more. I mean, over the anniversary, we're getting 500 free Chrono Crystals in your gift box every single weekly reset. Now, this is obviously one of the biggest pluses of a celebration like this, since it's a 3-part celebration, all bringing new units. So this is gonna allow you to summon as much as possible without you having to put your own money into the game, as long as you're really intentional with your logins and playtime and things like that. We won't know for a few more weeks who the Part 2 units are going to be, but we're of course expecting a new game-breaking Ultra in Part 3, so I'd personally try to focus on that, or just split your summons and save as much as possible if you're the type of player that likes to take a stab at every unit that comes out. Don't be like me and try to chase copies on MUI Goku though, because another huge benefit of this celebration is the amount of free LFZ power that's available to us as well. I literally saw DB Zoom do the calculations a few days ago, and with the weekend medals, raid honors, as well as other potential prizes like the login spin the wheel thing, we have access to up to 3,000 free LFZ power during the celebration, and depending on how much you summon throughout the anniversary, it could be more. This is why I think if you're not a huge spender on the game, you don't need to chase copies. I'm like 36k deep on MUI and only pulled 1 copy, and maybe 7k or so on Vegeta, and I just kind of gave up on pulling him. I realized I didn't really need him. Completely unnecessary summoning by me when I just ended up feeding UI Goku a bunch of Z power anyway. So if you were able to pull one of or both of the units at least once, I think focusing on collecting that free LFZ power and starring up UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta that way is a lot more efficient for this anniversary, since in my opinion only UI Goku is really a must-have, and even then. Hoi Poi and Chance Time are making a return, which is something that we've been anticipating as well. They actually came back during last night's weekly reset, so again, more rewards, more crystals. This past week was honestly pretty dry, I will admit that, but with this new weekly reset, there seems to finally be a good bit of new events besides just raid and a free-to-play unit. And now we're gonna start getting into some of the more disappointing things, I guess. All of course still my own opinion. I feel like we spent a good portion of the video talking about all of the positives of 7th Anniversary Part 1. Now I gotta be honest about some of the things that I don't really like so far. While I do really like the units and the unit choices, as I said in the beginning, I gotta say this again, my problem definitely is not who the units are, it's what they are. Master Ultra Instinct Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, transforming mind you, are great picks for anniversary headliners. Master Ultra Instinct Goku though just seems a little overtuned in my opinion, and I will always stand by auto dodge and auto dodge counter being the single most toxic mechanics to come to this game. MUI Goku not only having this, but also having a green card universal counter lock-in snipe that combos into a blue card that hits like a truck. Somebody please tell me why he needed this. On top of everything else that he does, why does he need a universal green card counter that locks you in? I don't know, but I guess somebody on the dev team thought all of these things on an Ultra Instinct Goku unit would promote healthy gameplay, I guess. And this is gonna lead me right into Blue Evolution Vegeta. I've seen a lot of people commenting on how mid he is or just underwhelming overall since he's not as cracked as MUI and the combo penalty update directly affecting the premise of his kit, but my issue is just the canyon-sized gap between him and MUI Goku. Like I said earlier, I got Goku, I played against Vegeta a number of times, I don't feel like I need to summon for that unit. Not just individually, but team-wise as well. I'll be the first to say I personally love the playstyle of ramp-up units, but Vegeta just seems really just convoluted for no reason with his gauge. I mean, MUI Goku is technically a ramp-up character as well, but his seems much easier to get because he gets built up every 2 cards until he gets to 6. And as far as I know, and you guys can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but MUI Goku's buildup is on strike and blast card uses, not cards landed. So you literally just have to press the cards and it counts. This means that blast card clashes and full screen strike cancels also count. So at this point, I'm not sure if I'm just of the mindset that MUI Goku is just too strong and way overtuned, and that's making Vegeta look subpar, or if Vegeta is just subpar regardless. Barely hanging on to a top 10 spot and really just not the overwhelming purple unit that we were expecting that he could have been. I mean, I know that there's a bunch of strong yellows running around right now, so him being purple in itself was kind of setting him up for failure, but he could have been a little bit better. Also, ranged uni reps is just not as good as melee uni reps right now, with his team being what, MVP and I guess Rev UI Zenkai, which also does look really good, but the MUI Goku and Kale and Caulifla combo, we just immediately knew that this was going to be a top tier pairing. And honestly, with the way his stat spread is after the Zenkai, Rev UI is kind of fine on that team too. So it's just kind of up in the air with Evo Vegeta right now. I won't complain too much about how dry last week was. We kind of got into that a little bit earlier, but it is still worth pointing out since this has been advertised to us as the biggest and best celebration in Legends history. So for there to even be a singular dead week, in my opinion, is just strange to me. And no, I don't think my expectations were too high because I was told that they should be. Another thing kind of harming the player base right now is the game optimization, but this is actually something I'm going to cut them a little bit of slack on, at least for right now. Right before the 7th anniversary started, Legends underwent this massive update that completely overhauled the UI, changed how bench units works, got rid of the soul boost system, and a few other things. But with an update of this size and how they plan on moving the game forward, it also made older devices obsolete. So it kind of alienated a lot of the player base that isn't playing on newer hardware, and that's just honestly really unfortunate. When something like this happens though, there's bound to be optimization issues in the beginning. I've seen countless people complain about crashes, choppy gameplay, login issues, and more. But with how they're trying to change and improve, again, I'm gonna cut them some slack for now, but by the end of the anniversary, I really hope that this issue does get better. Personally, my own phone has started getting extremely hot whenever I play since the update, and the best I can really do to keep it from affecting the gameplay is just to not have it on a charger. It still gets hot, but it's only like overheating while it's charging, so I just gotta be mindful of that. However, I think my main issue with this so-called biggest and most hype anniversary, allegedly, of all time in Dragon Ball Legends is just the lack of new things overall, the lack of new things that these units bring to the table, the lack of brand new events. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let me ask you guys, if you're a newer or returning player that's taken a long extended break from the game, what besides this just being a big anniversary celebration and the names of the headliner units, obviously MUI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta, what besides that is bringing you back to the game and making you want to keep playing and not take another long extended break? Let me know down below in the comments. The synchro gauge is one of the main things we were looking forward to returning on a new unit, and part 1 of the anniversary was the perfect time to incorporate it again, but it's nowhere to be found. Assault Chain is another mechanic that should have made a return as well, preferably on Vegeta if I'm being honest, but again, another missed opportunity. And then there are things that we've been wish listing, like the homie Virgil making a whole blueprint of how domains could be incorporated into the game. We're still expecting ground battles at some point. Stage destruction or stage transitions would still be really cool, but maybe things like that aren't necessarily for a part 1 or part 1 types of mechanics on units. So hopefully we still see this later on. I mean, they did say that there were still big things coming even after the update. Also, as long as we're talking about mechanics here, I gotta bring this up. One thing that I don't know if I'm ready to see again on another unit is a mechanic like Ultra Beast Special Beam Cannon. So moving forward, I really hope that they make that an extremely rare mechanic, even more so than the tap charge ult that Ultra Gogeta 4 and Ultra Vegito Blue have. But I don't want to make this video too long, fellas. I feel like I've been ranting for like 20 minutes now. These are just my thoughts. Everything that I do like about part 1 of the 7th anniversary, and you know, everything that I kind of don't like so far. But like I said in the beginning, I reserve the right to change my mind and hopefully be wrong by the time this is all said and done. And this really does turn out to be the best anniversary ever. Hopefully the part 3 Ultra is something we've never seen before, like maybe a tag Ultra or maybe even a transforming Ultra. Even if some people think it's still too early for that, we're on year 7. It has to happen at some point, right? But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments and what you're both satisfied and disappointed with when it comes to 7th anniversary. But anyways, have a great day, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.